In the entire history of the Vampire Chronicles, there is one character who is consistently underestimated, not just by the other vampires, but by the audience. For 50 years, we have looked at Claudia and seen a victim. We saw a porcelain doll in 1994. We saw a tragic teenager in 2022. We saw a mistake, a Band-Aid baby created to fix a broken marriage between two dysfunctional men. But if you open the forensic files, that is not what you find. When you strip away the lace dresses and the tantrums, you don't find a helpless child. You find the most tactically brilliant predator in the entire franchise. We are talking about a creature who, despite being physically nerfed by biology, managed to outthink, outmaneuver, and nearly destroy the most powerful vampire of her age, Lestat de Lioncourt. This is the apex predator paradox. In nature, the most dangerous animal isn't the biggest one. It's the one you don't fear until it's too late. Claudia is the error that exposes the system. She is the chess grandmaster in a room full of checkers players. But to understand her brilliance, we first have to understand the cage she was born into. We need to analyze the horror of her biological trap and ask the uncomfortable question: was Claudia actually the villain? Or was she just the dark shadow of Louis de Pointe-de-Lac, the weapon he used to commit the sins he was too weak to commit himself? This is Zara Bloom, and today we are opening a coffin of the eternal child. Part 1: The Biological Cage. To understand the predator, you have to understand the limitations. The Claudia of the lore is defined by a single, horrifying rule: stasis. But the flavor of that horror changes radically depending on which timeline you are watching. In Anne Rice's 1976 novel, the horror is the toddler. Claudia is turned at age 5. She is a preschooler, but her mind ages. Imagine a 60-year-old woman, a philosopher, a killer, trapped in a body that still has baby teeth. The book describes her as a perfect doll. This creates a unique camouflage. In the novel, she uses her mentally mature brain to disarm those around her. She uses her appearance as a mask, luring victims in with innocence before surgically removing the threat. She is the most dangerous thing in the room because she is the one no one suspects. The 1994 movie aged her up to 12, turning her into a spoiled aristocrat. But the 2022 AMC series, they did something much darker. They turned her into a 14-year-old, and this changes the biological trap entirely. In the series, Claudia is a typical teenager in spirit. She has the mind and the desires of a young woman. She wants to date. She wants to figure out who she is. But the show introduces a tragic detail: the reset button. We know vampires heal. If you cut their hair, it grows back before sunset. But for a teenager trying to grow up, this is a nightmare. She tries to change her hair, she tries to change her style, but every single night, her body reverts back to the moment she was turned. She is growing mentally, expanding emotionally, but she is physically trapped in a loop. She is a woman running a marathon in a body that refuses to leave the starting line. This dissonance is what fuels her rage. It's not just a tantrum, it's the frustration of a brilliant, maturing mind locked in a cage. Every attempt at intimacy is a reminder of her mutilation. This isn't just sad, it is fuel. This is what turns her from a sad daughter into a rage-filled revolutionary. She realizes that her makers didn't just take her life, they locked her in a chastity belt made of her own skin. This is why she hates Lestat. Not because he is mean, but because he is the architect of her prison, and a prisoner with nothing to lose is the most dangerous person in the world. And make no mistake, she is brilliant. While Louis and Lestat are busy with their toxic relationship drama, Claudia is the one hitting the books. She is the one actually going to university in the shadows. She reads the libraries dry, she studies philosophy. In many ways, she becomes the most adult person in the house. She is the only one looking at the timeline of their lives and realizing, we can't live like this forever. She becomes the responsible one, the strategist. while her fathers act like immortal children. Part 2. The Apex Predator. If Louis is the heart and Lestat is the muscle, Claudia is the brain. The apex predator paradox suggests that because she lacks physical strength, she had to max out her stats in strategy and deception. Look at the 2022 series. We see a literal training montage. While Louis is whining about the morality of hunting people, Claudia is treating it like a sport. She studies the prey, she learns their habits. This maturity is exactly what leads her to Madeleine, and this is a massive shift from the book lore. In the original text, Claudia creates Madeleine because she needs a mother. She needs someone to care for her doll-like form, but in the series, that dynamic doesn't fit anymore. The apex predator doesn't need a babysitter, she needs a partner. In the AMC adaptation, Claudia finds Madeleine not because she is helpless, but because she is lonely for an equal. She forces Louis to turn Madeleine so she can have a companion who understands the darkness of the world. Madeleine isn't a mother figure here, she is a soulmate. She is a fellow survivor who, like Claudia, has been judged and cast out by society. This proves Claudia's evolution. She moves past the need for parents, Louis and Lestat, and builds her own chosen family. But the real proof of her genius is the chess match. In Season 1, the show uses chess as a metaphor. At first, Lestat beats her easily, but watch closely. Over the years, she stops playing to survive and starts playing to win. She learns that to kill a king, you have to sacrifice your pawns. This brings us to the Antoinette subplot, the greatest piece of evidence for her tactical supremacy. In the show, Lestat has a spy, Antoinette, a vampire he turned specifically to watch Louis and Claudia. Lestat thinks he is the smartest guy in the room. He thinks he has the upper hand because he has a telepathic mole. But Claudia knew. She figured it out. And she didn't just kill the spy, she used the spy. She fed false information to Antoinette, knowing Antoinette would tell Lestat. She utilized a classic counterintelligence tactic, disinformation. She manipulated a telepath. That requires a level of mental discipline that neither Louis nor Lestat possesses. She made Lestat believe he was walking into a trap he could avoid, only to walk him into the real trap he didn't see. She played 4D chess while Lestat was playing checkers. Part 3. The Assassination. This culminates in the Mardi Gras assassination. This is the moment Claudia proves she is the superior hunter. In the book and the 1994 movie, the plan is a Trojan horse. She offers Lestat peace offerings, twin boys she has poisoned with laudanum. It relies on Lestat's arrogance. He thinks she is a child asking for forgiveness. He drinks the poison because he underestimates her. But the series version is a masterpiece of logistics. It wasn't just poison, it was a poison roulette. She had to coordinate the poison, the ball, the victim, and the psychology of Lestat, all while hiding her thoughts from a telepathic spy. And she succeeded. She slit the throat of the lion. But here is where the paradox fails. Not because of her, but because of Louis. We have to talk about the disposal. In the series, Claudia wants to burn the body. That is the rule. You burn the dead. But Louis refuses. He dumps Lestat in the city garbage, condemning him to a life of eating rats. This is the fatal error. Claudia's tactical brilliance was undone by Louis's emotional weakness. She built the perfect mousetrap, but Louis refused to kill the mouse. This validates the theory that Claudia is the only serious vampire in the family. The men are too busy being in love to survive. Claudia was the only one trying to stay alive. Part 4. Louis's Dark Shadow. This leads us to the darkest theory in the file, the Dark Shadow. Is it possible that Claudia isn't the villain? Is it possible she is just Louis's weapon? There is a psychological concept called the id. It is the part of your brain that wants to do the bad things your conscience won't let you do. Look at the pattern. Every time Louis has a problem, Claudia solves it with violence. Louis hates Lestat, but he can't kill him, so Claudia kills him. Louis wants to leave, but he can't pack the bags. So Claudia books the passage to Europe. Louis uses weaponized incompetence. He plays the role of the grieving, passive saint, which forces Claudia to become the monster. He outsources his sins to her. In the book, Louis explicitly admits that he let her do it. He watched, he waited. He is the silent partner in the murder. The tragedy of Claudia is that she thinks she is fighting for her freedom, but she is actually just fighting for Louis's convenience. She is the hitman he hired with his silence, and when she becomes inconvenient, when they get to Paris and the trial begins, he fails her again. Part 5, the stoning. We arrive at the end, the trial. The 2022 series transforms this from a legal proceeding into a stoning. It is a show trial. The outcome was fixed before they walked in the room. But look at the visual language. In the show, she dies on stage, and she wears that yellow dress. This is critical. Everyone else in the Theatre des Vampires is wearing black. They are uniform. They are a cult. Claudia walks out in bright, screaming yellow. Yellow is the color of the sun. It is a mockery of their fear. She is effectively saying, I am already the sun. I am the thing you are afraid of. She refuses to beg. She refuses to apologize. She links arms with Madeline, her collaborator in survival, and she faces the fire. Lestat, on the other hand, is broken. In the show, he goes off script. He apologizes, he screams, he admits that he broke them, but it's too late. The system, the coven, demands a sacrifice. Claudia dies because she is an apex predator that the system cannot control. She broke the rules not because she was wicked, but because the rules were made for men like Lestat and Armand. There was no place in the vampire laws for a 14-year-old black girl who played better chess than the king. Conclusion. So what is the verdict on Claudia? She was not a doll. She was not a mistake. She was a tactical genius trapped in a biological cage. She was a revolutionary who tried to overthrow a tyranny of two incompetent fathers. She proved that in the Savage Garden, size doesn't matter, but intelligence does. She was the sharpest blade in the cabinet. And in the end, she was too sharp for her own good. She cut through the lies of the vampire world, and for that, they burned her. But remember this, Lestat survived because he was lucky. Louis survived because he was loved. Claudia died because she was a threat to the established order and because she refused to be a victim.